Angie, I am so excited to finally be able to sit down with you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, of course. Okay, you started a restaurant with zero prior ownership experience, which is amazing. What inspired you to take that leap?
I think as an international traveler and lover of good food, I wanted to create a place that I would love to visit and something that reflected my personality. I didn't want to sort of copy and paste place. I wanted to bring something new to Utah, which is where I grew up.
That's what you get from your restaurant too. It's definitely not copy and paste. It's so unique and so beautiful. What was the most surprising thing that you learned in those first months of building Plated Dreams, and when did you open?
Oh, the most surprising thing, definitely cost. Opening a restaurant is a very romantic idea.
Until you actually do it.
Until you actually do it.
Yeah.
Reality kicks in very, very quickly. Been open for 3.5 years.
3.5 years. How long did it take to open once you started, construction and designing and everything? How long did it take you to open?
From construction, design, probably about a year.
About a year.
Mm-hmm.
Average? Okay. Average pretty quick. Okay. Looking back, Angie, what were some mistakes maybe you made early on that other aspiring entrepreneurs can avoid? Like, can you help people in the future not make the mistakes that you did?
Wow, mistakes are inevitable, definitely, especially when you're going into something that you know nothing about. I just educating, self-educating, learning where you can.
Learning where you can. I like that because you don't know till you know. You got to learn.
I made a lot of costly mistakes in the beginning with taking advice from contractors and suppliers. It wasn't necessarily that they were wrong. It's just that there was maybe cheaper or better ways.
Yeah.
But again, because I wasn't educated in it, I just really had to listen to what people were saying and then kind of put a pause on things and do my own research.
Doing research. Trust your gut.
Yep.
And let's really dive into why a restaurant. Were you wanting to open a business in general and you were leaning more towards a restaurant?
Definitely opening a business in general. That's something that was me.
Yeah.
Me. We have multiple businesses, so it's not my first business. We actually own the development that Plated Dreams sits in. We designed and constructed the development itself. So with that, all of the potential tenants were in the food industry. So I kind of saw it as an opportunity that if they saw it as a food restaurant or food establishment, that's something that potentially I could do, bring something new to our community.
Yeah, yeah. How would you describe Plated Dreams to someone who has never been? Because you have to be there in person to really see it, so you have to go. But how would you describe it to someone who has never walked in the door?
You're walking into an experience from the moment that you walk through the door, hit with the pinks and greens, the beautiful chandeliers, got pink lady backlit stone. Kind of, you don't feel like you're walking into a restaurant. You feel like you're walking into
an experience almost.
Experience, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and it's wildly Instagrammable, like we were just mentioning. How do you balance aesthetic branding with like strategic business goals?
I think that they go hand in hand. The restaurant was created to be as Instagrammable as possible so that the customer is ultimately doing the promoting for us.
Yeah.
So that everybody, we encourage people to pull out their phones, take the pictures, showcase where you've been, but also put the phone away and enjoy the time whilst you're there and the people that you're with.
That's so smart because everybody is all about, you got to get those Instagram pictures and you make it real easy and beautiful so that other people can promote it, take your pics, then sit and eat and enjoy it, right? Okay, so you built demand on Instagram, like we were just saying, in social media, even before opening day. What strategies worked best for you?
So truth be told, a lot of the beginning was on my own personal page versus Plated Dreams because we didn't have following. So that took a bit of time for sure. On my personal page, I was a little bit secretive because of getting the idea out. There was very scary. The idea of telling people this is what I'm doing, it was very scary because I was doing something new.
Well, and you want to build that mystery, where you don't want to let the idea out yet, but you want to tease it a little bit. And I'm sure doing something new, like opening a restaurant, can be a little bit intimidating when it's your first one.
Yep.
Well, you've done an amazing job,
Thank
clearly,
you.
Because it's doing so well. How, Angie, did you navigate the male-dominated commercial development and construction industry while building your restaurant? That probably was difficult.
Going back that step to where we had sort of designed and created the entire development, I was already used to being around males because of the construction side of things.
Sure.
Going from learning landscaping to learning what different sidings are, different rocks, the difference between different concretes and concrete blankets because we were doing construction during the winter. So I was already kind of used to being amongst a lot of males in that industry and being told, no, that's not possible, and turning around to, yes, I have this vision and this is what we want. So even with the rock choices that are outside in the landscaping and the different plants that we have, I had already sort of addressed those types of things and was able to take that information into the restaurant side as well. I was in the beginning told by our architect, who was the architect for the overall design of the building, when I told him I wanted to do a restaurant, he told me, why don't you just do what you're good at, which is design, and not open a restaurant.
Wow.
So I said, nope, I'm going for it. We're going to do this.
I've
got this idea and I definitely want to do it. And here's the ideas. And that's kind of how it started.
I don't think a lot of people, I mean, me not being a restaurant owner, think there are different types of concrete. I mean, I wouldn't know that, right?
Yes.
And you already knew, or maybe, you were learning which one you wanted for you.
Yep, learning the different things. And with that, what I mean is like ADA compliance. So ADA compliance with the slope of the floor, going from a tile floor to a wooden floor. So all of those types of things where I had to learn as I went, basically.
Yeah, step by step.
Yep.
Angie, how do you differentiate your restaurant in a saturated brunch market without just copying trends? I mean, when you opened, like you were starting the trend of brunch,
Definitely. I think there's a lot of restaurants that were doing brunch, but they weren't focusing on brunch.
Yeah.
So going into it, we really wanted to focus on the hours of brunch to really try to create the balance of work and life, and being able to close the door at a 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock time.
Nice.
And finish work up and go home. I'm still not able to do that.
I was just going to ask you, are you still able to leave?
Yep. No, we're still there for hours after 2 o'clock getting things done. So it was, again, a romantic idea to be able to do that. But if I was open until 9 or 10 o'clock at night, I would be there till 11 or 12 at night.
It would be even later.
So, absolutely.
What are the hours of the restaurant?
Currently, we're 9 to 2. Saturdays and Sundays, we do extend to 3 o'clock. It's really more based on demand. We do our best to stay open till 3, but if we haven't had customers coming in since that 1:30, 2 o'clock,
sure,
we'll offer to go. We'll try to still give them a coffee within the environment, come in and take some pictures. But the goal is really for them to have the best experience. And I'm sorry to say, you're not going to get the best experience if you show up at closing.
Yeah, no, it's true. Well, I like that you do stay open a little bit later on weekends when we're tired, right? We've been out at night maybe, and that's nice to have those extended hours. How important is community engagement and events in building a loyal customer base, would you say?
Customers come from afar. Our customers aren't just local-based customers. We get people that show up with suitcases. They've landed at the airport, and they know because they've researched what do they want to do, what places are available when they arrive in Utah, and Plated Dreams does come up as a sort of destination place for them. So we get people traveling in from afar. Most recently, we had a family that had let us know that they had drove all the way from Reno, stayed the night in the hotel that's closest to the restaurant, and came in to see us the next day.
That speaks highly of the restaurant, right? Where people are coming
definitely.
in just for a destination.
Definitely.
That's so amazing, Ange.
And then our local-based customers, we do have a lot of repeat customers. We value them. We love them. We have great conversations, talk about all the things in life.
Okay, let's get more into the design, because I think that's like one of the, obviously the food is so good, but your design. What inspired the whimsical European-inspired design of Plated Dreams?
The travel throughout Europe, definitely. My husband's British. I lived in the UK for a really long time. When we would go to beautiful restaurants in London all the time, and everything was very thought out. And when you're sat in these places that are just, you're surrounded by beauty, you kind of get lost in that and the time and in the conversation, and you don't really want to leave. And that's what I wanted to create for people here as well.
You dine for hours. I mean, it's an experience. So your time in London obviously gave you that exposure to the European cafe culture. Is there anything else that we may not know about the European cafe culture that kind of you've adapted in your restaurant?
Well, one mistake.
Yes, give it to us.
In Europe, in the UK, people go for tea and cake. So we put in this big, beautiful cake display.
Which sounds like a great idea.
It sounds like a great idea. It was a very expensive idea.
Okay.
But keeping that filled with what our local customers want, and the idea that people are going to go out for tea and cake, especially at brunch hours, it's not a thing. It's really not a thing. So we're trying to sort of figure out what it is that we're going to do with that display case.
Okay, so tea and cake may not be here yet. A trend here yet?
Maybe not yet. I've tried to create it. We've had beautiful cakes from beautiful cake creators that are very well known in Utah. And even with their cakes, we haven't been successful.
Such a romantic idea.
Exactly.
Once again,
Yes.
it's very romantic. Angie, how do you balance the food experience with the overall ambiance and Instagram moments that we talked about without compromising quality? Because to stay open, the food has to be good, right?
The food has to be good, absolutely. So the design The idea of going in for your pictures, that works once, maybe twice. The rest has to be about the food. So making sure that we're creating good quality food. Our food is from scratch. There's a lot of things that have to go into having a scratch kitchen. We're not buying in, I would say 95% of our items are made from scratch. So we're not buying in a lot of pre-made items. Sometimes people give us a little bit of grief that we charge for ranch. We're charging for ranch because we didn't buy in pre-made ranch. We're literally buying in all the components to make the ranch.
Worth it.
And then I'm having somebody that's on a very high salary make that ranch for you.
Yeah.
So everything, for the most part, is made to order. So it's really been really, really important to us.
Does the menu change seasonally, or what's the vibe on the menu?
Vibe on the menu. So we do have some seasonal changes for sure, even if that means that we're using like a natural food coloring to dye our pasta pink or green. We've got different holidays that are coming up, and so we do things like that. We've tried to bring on new foods seasonally, definitely, because we were using a lot of seasonal ingredient. We've had the problem where the customer has what they want, and they've come in to have what they want, expecting it to be on the menu, and now it's been removed. So we have to find the balance in that as well. So keeping our top sellers for sure, they're not going anywhere, and bringing on new things, trying new things for sure. But, the business side of it, if something's not selling, it's got to go.
It's got to go.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll know pretty quick.
And we know pretty quick, yeah.
Okay, speaking of someone's got to have what they like and top sellers, what are the top two go-tos?
Ooh, top two are chicken hollandaise hash.
Yum.
Really, really yummy. Hollandaise sauce is, again, made from scratch. We make that in small batches so that it's as fresh as it can be throughout the day. Our second most popular are probably our loaded fries. Our loaded fries are super yummy.
Give me those all day long.
Yeah, super, super. It's a huge portion. We definitely suggest to people to even do that as a starter for if you've got a group of people. But people love it. They order it all the time. They just take home their leftovers.
I can see why. That sounds amazing. Okay, and Andrew, you're a wife, a mom, and a first-time business owner as far as restaurants. How do you balance motherhood, marriage, and entrepreneurship?
What is balance?
I know, it's true.
Balance to me is really being present where I am at that time. So if I'm at work, I'm in work mode. Our kids have all worked at the restaurant, and they've all been fired from the restaurant.
At least you tried. We tried.
We tried. They've come back. They're always there to help, but it's very much a family business. Husband's in there a lot of the time unwillingly. He's there to help. He's just wonderful. So trying to create that balance. He knows right now Saturdays and Sundays I'm there. I'm there most days, and we've always worked together, lived together, done life together, and
you're a team.
We're very much a team.
Yeah. Well, and what role did your close-knit team, speaking of that, play in turning your vision into a reality? Because it takes a lot of people.
Again, in the beginning, we were very secretive as to what we were doing for maybe fear of failure. Can I actually do this? I'm going to be able to pull this off. But my husband, when I told him after we had rented out all of the other units within the facility, said, listen, I want to do a restaurant. Basically fell off his chair. And he was like, are you sure you want to do a restaurant? And I was like, yeah, I want to do a restaurant. I want to bring something that we have in the UK. I want to bring something like that here for our community. So he was like, okay, well, yep, if we're going to do a restaurant, we're going to do it different and we're going to do it right. So he was my biggest supporter.
That's amazing. Would you say that it's smart to work with family for people who are listening that maybe want to open up their own business, whether it's a restaurant or not? Or does it just depend on your family?
It's going to depend on the family and your relationship. Absolutely.
Okay. Sometimes it works great.
Sometimes it works great. Sometimes it doesn't. Knowing when you need to take a step back, either side, is going to be really important.
And you have to fire the kids here and there, and that's fine.
Fire the kids here and there. It's all about learning, right?
Yes.
It's teaching time. We're all about learning. We're showing them some good work ethic, and that's it, really.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
How do you manage that emotional toll and risk, right, that you mentioned that comes with like building a business from the ground up? Any advice you can give someone who maybe is like right in the beginning stages and they're thinking, I just want to give up?
Take a step back, look at the overall goal, and keep moving forward.
Take a step back. I think that's good because you see the picture better sometimes, right, when you kind of scoot back from it. What's your favorite part about seeing guests enjoy the experience that you've created? It's probably pretty rewarding.
Very rewarding, definitely. We have so many people that come to see us to celebrate milestones in their life. So that's been really, really great. Being able to provide a little treat here and there for those celebrations has been really, really great as well.
Okay, going back to the menu, you mentioned you mix things up a little bit. How do seasonal menus and maybe holiday events play into keeping the restaurant dynamic and relevant if someone is wanting to open a restaurant and they're not thinking of these elements?
You have to be creative. You have to be relevant. I wouldn't necessarily say follow the trends. You can try the trends. We recently had the Dubai pancakes. They were very, very popular all over the place.
Oh, yeah, you hear that. Yeah, the Dubai thing everywhere.
We didn't do it. We stuck with what we knew instead of bringing in something new. So you just got to find what works for you. In the beginning, our menu was very different to when we first opened. Our menu in the beginning was very European based. It was smaller portions, high price tags, very, very fresh ingredients. That we were using locally sourced ingredients, more of your smaller outlets to purchase from, and that didn't work for our community.
Okay, good to know. When someone's walking in, maybe they're driving there right now, they're listening to this podcast and they're thinking, that sounds so good, I'm going to go try it. What would you say for them to order? I know we talked about the favorites, but I know you have beautiful drinks as well.
Our drinks definitely got beautiful lattes, beautiful mocktails. We do have a liquor license as well for those that are interested. Our Lavender Fields latte is one of our most popular.
I've had that one. I can vouch for that. That one's really good.
Very yummy. And our Biscoff latte as well. Those drinks, they can be iced, they can be hot. We do bring in a lot of seasonal drinks or more themed drinks. We've got a lot of St. Patrick's drinks going on right now. We definitely sell a lot of mocktails, definitely.
Savory and sweet options as well.
Absolutely. Yep. Our Bloody Mary is to die for.
Yum, yum. Okay, Angie, what advice would you give someone who dreams, like you did, of starting a business in a competitive, trend-driven market? What advice do you have for them?
I think really open quick and adjust. If you have an idea, go for it. Just be open to adjusting to make it work for you.
Yeah. I imagine there's a lot of pivots throughout because you might have an idea, like you said, like the tea and cake. Maybe that didn't work. You tried it. So it's a lot of adjustments going forward. And no, that doesn't mean failure.
Absolutely. And failure is fine. Failure is fine, but you have to pick yourself back up.
Keep going. Okay, what's next, Angie, for Plated Dreams? Any new concepts, expansions, or experiences in the works? What can you tease?
We are definitely looking more on our evening events. We did try dinner. Dinner didn't work for us. We tried to do too high end, I think, for our local community. So I think more of our private events. We close at 2. We can reopen back up at 4 o'clock, stay open as late as we need to for people that are looking to get into that private event. If they've got a birthday party, a wedding, so more things like that. Definitely we're navigating through that right now.
Yeah, those hours give it flexibility.
It does give it flexibility, but it does mean where's that balance?
And you're there till midnight.
And we're there till midnight, definitely. We're a very, very small team, so it sometimes can feel like we're asking a lot for our team who's already doing anywhere from 30 to 40 hours to, hey, we've got these next couple events coming up. Are you available? A lot of our team, they do have second jobs as well. So not that they need to, they're paid very well.
Yes, they are. Okay, as we wrap up, Angie, anything, if we're speaking, and I know how passionate you are about your business and your staff and giving people an amazing experience. Anything you want to, give advice to people out there that are kind of stuck and just not knowing or believing in themselves? Because I think a lot of it is like confidence, just to believe that you can do it when you did and you opened up a business that wasn't even in the category that you've done before.
I came from nothing, I knew nothing, and I did it.
And
it's
amazing.
gotta do it.
And it's amazing. Everyone has to try Plated Dreams. Okay, we are going to do a quick Fresh 5 to get to know you really quick, and then we'll wrap up, and you can tell everyone where the restaurant is and come try it. Thank you for all your advice. I think this has been so informative, too. Right, are you ready, Angie?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Mountains or beach?
Ooh, beach.
Favorite holiday?
Thanksgiving.
Casual or formal?
Casual.
Book or movie?
Movie.
And what is making you smile in your life right now?
Oh, my husband.
Go team. I love that. And she's smiling too. I love that. Okay, where can we find Plated Dreams and follow along, Angie? Where's the best place to go?
Okay.
Other than the restaurant.
Other than the restaurant. So we are located at 2468 South, Highway 89 in Woods Cross. You can find us on plateddreamscafe.com, Plated Dreams Cafe on Instagram and Facebook.
Amazing.
We do have a TikTok account as well. I always forget about TikTok. I got to get better at that.
That's okay. And when you go into the restaurant, you'll want to be posting all the pictures on all these platforms you just mentioned.
Definitely.
Because it's so
Tag
beautiful.
us. We love to share. I need a social media person, so if anybody's out there and wants to work with me, let me know.
There you go. All right. It's been so fun chatting with you.
Thank
Congrats
you.
on all your success. Thank you for
Thanks for
sharing
having
all your advice and your tips. I know people really appreciate it. Thank you, Ange.
Thank you.
And thank you for listening to another episode of Fresh Off the Set. Please rate, review, and subscribe, and we will see you next week. Congrats, you made it to the end. If you want to continue to freshen up your day, you can watch us on Fresh Living every weekday on CBS Channel 2 in Utah at 1 o'clock. You can also watch us on our YouTube channel, KUTV Fresh Living, and follow us on social media. We will see you next week.